Hey everybody, my name is Katie Frazier and I am going to teach you about how to jumpstart a car. So car maintenance is something that's required for all cars, especially used vehicles. They're going to need something. And a lot of stuff you can do on your own without the help of a mechanic. So I want to teach you how to jumpstart a car so that you'll be more confident when this happens to you and you'll feel empowered to help other people in case of an emergency. So I've been working at Changing Gears for the past 8 years, and in this program we help people with transportation, and I teach people workshops for vehicle ownership and vehicle maintenance, and part of that is teaching them how to jumpstart a car. So I've been doing this for lots of years, and I'm excited to share this knowledge with you. A dead battery is just one of many things that could cause your car not to stop, but jumpstarting your car is a good place to start without having to go to a mechanic. So a great example is if you leave your lights on overnight, your battery is going to be dead in the morning, and jump starting your car is the perfect way to get that battery in your car started. The things you'll need are, obviously your car is dead, so that is there for you, and then you need a car that will jump start your car, so a car with a good battery, and you need a good set of jumper cables. And what I mean by a good set of jumper cables is that it has nice thick metal on the clips. It's got thick wires, so there are jumper cables that will be cheaper and the wires will be thinner, but that means that it carries less power. So these are a good set of jumper cables. And you also want them to be fairly long, so that if you can't line up the cars nose to nose like this, you have plenty of length to reach from battery to battery. So you may have noticed that one of these clips is black and one is red, and that typically corresponds to the positive and negative terminals on a battery. Usually on a battery, the positive will be red. It'll have red wires coming out of it or have a red cover on it. It'll also have a plus sign on the battery itself, and the negative will be black with a negative sign on the battery. But sometimes that's not the case. So on this battery, there's no red on either side. So how do I know which is positive and which is negative? Luckily, this does have an embossed area that shows that this is the positive terminal, and then this has a negative embossed area over here. Also, the negative is connected to the body of the car. So that's the grounding function of the negative terminal, which shows you that this is the negative terminal since it's grounded. So my first step is to stretch out the jumper cables between the two cars. I've done that already, and now I'm going to the dead car and putting red on dead. So that's an easy way to remember the first step of attaching the cables themselves. So this one has the plastic cover. I'll remove that plastic cover. Sometimes it's attached, sometimes it comes apart, but you can just set it to the side and connect the clip to the terminal. Somehow. There we go. So I have red on dead. You can leave the negative one just lying there on the car. It's not live yet. Come over to the booster battery and attach red onto the booster. So you want to make sure you have a good connection, as good as you can, and then you take the negative clip onto the negative terminal of the booster. And at this point, your cables are live, so you don't want to touch any of the metal on the battery or their cables yet. Next, you come over to the dead car, and this one you can either attach to the battery itself on the negative terminal or to any exposed metal on the car as the ground. This doesn't quite stretch, but this would be a good exposed metal that you can attach to. I'm going to do it just to the battery. So now we're connected. So our next step is to start the booster car. You want to let that run for a minute or two to charge up the battery and get your dead car as ready to be started as possible. Once that has boosted up, you can even rev it up to 2,000-3,000 RPM. Then you want to go in and start your dead car. If it doesn't start after 2 or 3 times, it's probably not your battery that is the cause. It might be a starter or something else, or your battery is just so dead that it's not able to be jumped. So if your car does start, great, you did it. So your next step is to let both cars run for a little bit just to make sure that the dead car has enough juice to keep running. So next, you will remove the jumper cables in the reverse order that you applied them. So the last one that we did was the black on the dead car. So remove that and just let that hang down. Come over to the booster car, remove the black off of there and let it hang. Remove the red, and you can lay them down on the ground. And lastly, remove the red on the previously dead car. So I hope you learned a lot through this process. I would recommend getting a good set of jumper cables and just have those in your car in case you have an emergency and need to get to work or school. And also so you'll be able to help other people. The more you watch this video, the more confident you'll be in doing this process on your own. Thanks so much for watching.